to my channel. My name is Kamsi. If it's the first time you're seeing this beautiful face, please don't make it your last by clicking on the subscribe button and giving this video a big thumbs up if you end up enjoying it. And if it's not, hi guys, welcome back. So guys, I'm back with another video. I thought it's been a while. I came on here with my robe, and just decided to chit chat with you guys. I'm actually going out for an event, but I was like, you know what, let me chat with my girls, let me talk with my girls, let's just while I do my makeup. So from the title, you'd already guessed that this video I'm going to be talking about mistakes that we commonly make in our 20s. You and I, I'm also in my 20s. I'm 23 and I'm going to be 24 this year, and these mistakes I'm going to list in this video, I'm also a victim of them, but the only difference is I'm aware of them and I draw myself back when I see myself making these common mistakes, because I don't know, I think every single one of us would have gone through this at some point in our life or will, and this is just like a reminder that, hey, it's normal, but that's a mistake and you need to stop doing that, okay? So if you want to hear these mistakes, please keep on watching. So in case it's the first time you're hearing me talk and it's kind of weird, I do have braces on. It's been about almost a week since I got my braces, so that's why I kind of sound a little bit different. I have a lisp. I'm still getting used to it, but yeah, I don't know if you guys can notice. I got ceramic ones, so like they're not metal and it's not like you can't really like see it until like you're in my face. But yeah, okay. Alright guys, so a very common mistake that we are guilty of making in our 20s is we want to have it all figured out. We believe that in our 20s, if we don't know what we're doing for the rest of our lives, we're already failures. Why don't you know what you want to do? Why don't you know your next step? Why don't you know your next future career? Why don't you know the business you're about to start? Why don't you know how you're going to make $1 million right now and be the youngest billionaire ever on Forbes list like Eyeshadow? Yeah, I've been there. We just feel like, why don't I know this? I'm stupid. Like, I'm 20, I'm an adult, I'm no more a teenager, I'm no longer in secondary school. If you can also be in uni, but let's say you're done uni. Why don't I know what I'm supposed to do with my life? What's wrong with me? Hey. Yeah, so you see people around you, maybe they seem to be knowing what they're doing. You're like, hey, look at my mates, everything. I'm here to tell you that, newsflash, nobody knows what they're doing. That's a secret. A perfect example is the Nigerian government. Do you really think these people know what they're doing in that place? Do you really think it? They are winging it, and that's actually majority of what all of us are doing on this earth. There are literally, if you really think about it, there are really no rules. Jonathan, we all have societal construct. There's nobody that really knows, like, boom boom. It's maybe as you get older you have a clearer direction of where to go, but in terms of I must do this 1 + 1 = 2, if you add this one I get to here, and no, it's nothing. No one, we're all human beings, we're all winging it at some point in our life. You're not sure of the outcome, but you're just going to do it regardless because you feel like it's what you're supposed to do. So yeah, so that's something that a lot of us are very guilty of. Like, we just take life too seriously, and I don't blame, as I'm talking, like I said, I'm guilty of this. And sometimes when some people, when you say something that adults are like, ugh, they're like laughing, you get frustrated because like, look at this one, I'm telling you something, but it's like they've been there and they're like, ugh, you're just starting life. Like, you have so many things ahead of you, and I'll come to this, how there's a balance with this type of thinking. But at the same time, I just feel like when we do this, we're not even enjoying our youth and all of that. Take me for example, someone now, because I get some DMs and I'm like, I can feel the panic, and maybe these people are like, they're not even up to 20, maybe like 18. I'm like, oh, this was me and all that. So if you guys have been following me, when I was saying, oh, when I finish my NYS and I'm like, I'm gonna do this full time. Had I even thought about filming the video the video blew up and then I got subscribers and then I became more confident? I had no clue. That video idea hadn't even put in my mind. Nothing like that. I just had a direction. Like, I was like, okay, I'm sure of this and I'm willing to take the risk and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm supposed to do. So because I did that and it worked, someone from the outside now might think that, it was a plan. No, I did not know that was going to happen. I hoped that it would happen and I was willing to take that risk, but I did not know that it was going to. And that's the thing that we have to do. Like, you might be doing something that you feel like it's not gonna work and all that. Oh, I'm not why am I wasting time in this? Just keep at it. You don't know if it will or if it will not. So we just have to relax, calm down, and know that it's not that deep. You know, just take life one step at a time. You don't have to have it all figured out. It's as if nobody wants to be a beginner at something. And when you refuse to be a beginner, so like, I don't know this, I'm just starting life, let me just take it small, you end up having low self-esteem because you have refused to tell yourself that you don't know this and you are just starting. You're telling yourself that I should know this, and when you deep down you know you don't, your self-esteem goes down because you feel inadequate, and you shouldn't feel that way. You're literally just starting life. Honestly, we really shouldn't. All you're doing is you're adding more pressure to yourself. You're not really going to be happy, and you're supposed to be enjoying this period of your life, this period of, you know, just living your life and seeing what happens. So if you're one and you feel like you should have it all figured out, you don't. Okay? Let's go to the next point. Alright guys, another very common mistake we are guilty of in our 20s is that we care too much about what other people think of us and our choices. I will keep preaching about this because I know it's a very, very huge factor, especially in our 20s. Like, we're so concerned about looking like we have it all together, which is like my first point. Like, we have it all figured out, and if we feel like the decision we're about to make won't make us seem like we know what we're doing, we're so scared, and it can stop us from doing what we really want to do. And you might never know if that is what will actually click and work. So it's really, really painful because I know how that can be. I'm not a victim of it anymore, but I really struggled with it. You know, just the approval of like your parents, the approval of your family, approval of your friends. Maybe your friends are doing something else, and it's just like they seem to know what they're doing, and then you're saying you want to do this, and it's like, what the hell? You know, and it's now just stops you from even trying. That's the painful thing. Like, you don't even try. Like, you don't even want to try. It's one thing to be like, okay, maybe it doesn't work, but it can cripple you in such a way that you don't even want to you're so scared of looking like a fool or looking like you don't know what you're doing that you don't even bother to go ahead with your plan, which is so painful because you never know what it could have turned out to be, and then you might not end up living with regret. So don't think about what people might say. First things first, people have their own issues. That's one thing I want to remind you guys of. People are actually very selfish individuals. Like, people can give you like a time of it, but they're going to go back to their issues. So some people can feel like they're like the star. You know, that's how we are. We're living our own life, so we're kind of like the main character of our own lives, but those people are main characters of their own lives, so you are a bystander in their life. Unless the person is very jobless, that's why I feel like I'm in my level of video minding the business that pays you, because in everybody's life you're the only main character, but some people decide to make someone else the main character of their own lives. So that's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to like non people that they might have something to say, but it's limited because they have things they are doing, they have their own issue, they have their own problem. So if you're basing your decision off of what they might say or what they might think, not knowing that they'll probably give you like 10 minutes of their time in their entire life, and then you're using that bit of time they used to talk about you to dictate what you should or should not do with your life, you have to think differently. Think that way. And even if they do, what's your business? Do you understand? You're still doing what you want to do. It's your own life. If you don't want it, no one has to die. You learn from it and you move on. As opposed to not doing it, regretting your whole life. That's not a way to live. Stop thinking about what other people are saying. You can listen to what they have to say, but it doesn't mean that you have to do it. I'm not saying don't listen to advice, which I will get into in a little bit, but I'm just saying, like, don't let what people might say dictate what you should or should not do with your life, because it's your life, okay? And you only have one, okay? Yeah. Alright guys, so another mistake that we normally make in our 20s is that we don't take risks. I honestly, when I think about it, it's actually so funny, because if we don't take risks in our 20s, do you think it gets better when you're like in your 50s, when like you have let's say you're not married, let's say when you have kids, see when you're married, let's say you even are married but you're still young. I feel like it doesn't, I don't know, maybe it does, but I just feel like your 20s is like the most risk-free. Like, you get, there are risks, but like, the consequences of those risks, I don't think they are so impactful as opposed to when you're older and you have a lot more things on your plate. And like, okay, let's say for me now, let's say I'm in my 20s and I have a 9 to 5 and I want to leave my job and I want to start this business, and I'm like, no, not now. It's not like in my let's say I'm now in my 40s. Granted, I might have more money, but like the risk, I don't know if you try to get my example. Obviously, you can make any change you want to make at any age, but I just feel like in your 20s, that's usually, I feel like it's easier. It's easier if you actually look at it. I feel like it's easier. In your 20s, you can afford to, just try here. You have time on your side. That's my whole point. You have more time when you're in your 20s to correct any mistakes you might make, as opposed to when you're older and you have, like I said, you have people to take care of. You can't just decide to drop this thing. How does it affect this person? When you're 20s, you have more liberty to do certain things. So what I try to like tell myself is like, is it when I have more things on my plate that it will be easier for me to take this risk if I can't take it right now? So that's why I said it's kind of falling back on the other one of either you think of what people might say, or you're just like, oh, it's not sure, it's not concrete. Nothing is really, is anything really concrete? Is anything really concrete? Is it not like try and error? If you really think about it, most things are. So if you want to take that risk, I think this is the best time for you to take that risk. Make calculated risk, but at the same time, sometimes it might not be calculated. If it won't cost you that much, like last to fail, and you know that okay, this path is not for you, and it's faster for you to now move on to what is for you, as opposed to when you're still thinking of that same thing and then I don't know, just a lot. So that whole thing of you can afford to be the beginner. I'm trying this out. If it doesn't work, no problem. We move. But when you overdo it, what people say, people will laugh at me. Don't think that way. Yeah, guys. So in my humble opinion, take more risks in your 20s. Doesn't work, move on. On to the next one. Failure isn't always negative. Failure can actually help you and put you on the right direction. You know what's for you and what is not for you, and you're wasting less of your time and moving on to what you can actually be doing for the rest of your life. That's my tip. Alright guys, so another common mistake we are guilty of making in our 20s is that we think we are running out of time. And the flip side is some of us now think we have all the time in the world. So we think we're running out of time, and because of this, we don't live in the moment. We don't take out time to learn ourselves, because we're actually still learning, we're still getting to know ourselves in our 20s, which is what I have discovered. And I see people saying, like, especially when they turn 30, like there's this sense of, I don't know, like they know themselves so well in their 30s, and it was like their 20s was figuring out themselves and learning themselves. And this is why it's so important to be able to experiment and know what you like and don't like and what you want to do and not. Just know yourself and know where you thrive in, where you do well at, where you do well in, and where you fail at or don't do so well at. I think this is the best stage to know this, so that it's better for you to know where you fall in, what category you fall in, or what sphere you want to be in life. So yeah, we feel like we're running out of time, we have to do this one, that one, and then we miss important moments in our lives. We miss like interactions, getting to just chill, know people, network, build important relationships, because we feel, no, I don't have time for all of that. When I'm old, I'll do all of that. But everything's about balance, True, we don't have all the time in the world, and time waits for no one, which is the other point. It's not good for you also to now balance the ballet and relax and be like, I'm just 20, I'm just 21, I have all the time in the world. You actually don't, but like everything has to be balanced. So you can still be making plans, thinking of what you want to do. To me, I don't think that's wasting your time. But for you to just relax and be like, yeah, to sort yourself out, that's not good. So you just have to find a balance. Time is not running anywhere, but at the same time, you don't have all the time in the world. So know when, okay, I know what I'm working on, but I don't have to figure it out right now. I don't have to stress myself and kill myself because I'm still growing, I'm still learning, but I'll still enjoy my youth regardless. That's the point I'm trying to make. So yeah, this can really make us very, very impatient. We don't want to listen to anybody. To another point, we think we know it all. We don't trust the process. And I know that social media is a big factor in all of this, which is sad because some of those things you're seeing, it's not real, but it has a way of putting so much pressure on us and see this person, especially those in the first world country like America and all of that. It's like, everyone has a house, I have a car, what do I have? I'm seeing my parents' home. All of that facade, illusion, it might be true for their own situation, but it doesn't mean that's the standard. And don't pressure yourself. Alright guys, so the final mistake I'm going to say that we often make in our 20s is that we surround ourselves with the wrong company, be it dating or be it platonic relationships. There are people that bring out the best in us, and there are people that bring out the worst or not so good elements in us, and we need to be very aware of these things because it can affect us. Take for example, when I was in uni, like when it was time for exams and I wanted to be serious, there were certain people I started chilling with more because they brought out that more serious side in me, the side I really wanted to get good grades and like not just party. And when it was time to party, I had those people as well. So as I always said, the key here is balance. We need to be very aware because without even knowing it, these people are influencing us. If you're someone that's usually lazy, and number, you're not really like a lazy person, if you're not aware of this person, that this person is lazy, you can start getting influenced. So it depends on who has the stronger character. If you're the stronger, maybe you can help the person be more like to do more things. But if not, and you're not aware, you can now just be like docile and not do anything because nothing around you motivates you. We should always strive to hang out people or be with people who are better than us or on the same level as us more often than we are people who don't really impact us. So I'm not saying forget those people who don't, but we need to think for ourselves and know that I need to be better, I need to do better, and it's good to surround yourself with people who are on that same journey with you. They don't even have to be ahead of you, but both of you have that drive, both of you have that discipline, you want to achieve this, and it's the best thing. So in our 20s, it's very good to have those people, again, as we network, you know, we grow, we know better people that can help us in future. So yeah, I think that's something we really need to consider in our 20s. It's not a crime if you no longer click with this person, you feel like this person doesn't impact your life and you'd rather just move on. It's not a crime, you're not killing anybody. I'm not saying drop them or they're dead to you, but we have to put ourselves first. So yeah guys, I think that's like all the mistakes I'll cover in this video. I'm just gonna dress up my hair, wear my outfit, and I'll come back for the outro. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you found this helpful, insightful. Hope it helps you, you know, take a look at yourself and see which of these mistakes you're making. It might be 1, 2, or all of them. I certainly have made all of these mistakes and sometimes still do, but like I said earlier, I remind myself and yeah, I draw it back in and all of that. Yeah, I hope this video was able to help some of you who have been feeling a bit pressured to know what to do with your life right now, and just know that that's not true. Whoever is trying to pressure you into doing that or make you think that you're inadequate should not be someone in your life. And if it's like in form of like your parents or like family, just try to block out the noise and focus on what you have right now. This is the best time to take risks. Calculated risk, sometimes not calculated, and if it doesn't work, you move on with life. Don't see failure as something so bad. People learn from failing. Failing shouldn't be a negative thing. It's from failing that you know what you should do next or how you should change certain things. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. Take it one step at a time because we are all winging it in this life if we're being very honest with ourselves. Don't use social media as the standard. Some of those things are not real, and even if they are, that's not your life. You have a different path. God has set a different path for you, and if you are willing to go down and try different things until you find that, that's a really, really good thing to do. And your mental health and mental peace should always come first. Okay guys, if you're still watching, thank you. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.